Hello, hello, DJ Mandy B in the house. Just kidding. My husband and I can't even remember where we came up with that, but he was goofing around. It was it was How I Met Your Mother we were watching, and they were talking about people whose name ends in an I being wild women. And so he started calling me DJ Mandy B, which was hilarious. No one calls me Mandy. So actually, it's Dr. Amanda, the Money Healer here, welcoming you, gorgeous NFA, no fucking around money mamas, for another episode of the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. Today we're on episode number 40, and we're in our series of NFA Manifesting Tips, and we're going to talk about 3 real-life examples of manifesting from a stretched imagination. So manifesting from a stretched imagination, and I'm going to give you 3 real-life examples from my life and how I use my imagination to manifest. I had a mastermind student say this the other day, and I'm going to read a direct quote. It was so awesome that I was like, wow, I want to talk about that on the podcast. It was actually in a different mastermind, not my NFA Money Mamas, but a different one I have. And he said, you can only imagine through the lens of what you know. That's why you need to surround yourself with people who are ahead of you. And this was one of the lessons he had learned in a mastermind that I was in. And so shout out to you, Chad, if you ever listen to this. Such a brilliant statement. You can only imagine through a lens of what you know. That's why you need to surround yourself with people who are ahead of you. And this is stretching your imagination. In order to manifest, you've got to stretch your imagination because it's impossible for you to step into the feeling of the wish fulfilled and manifest things. That's what Neville Goddard said. If you can't imagine what you're wanting to come true to be true, if it's so far stretched that you can't even see the reality of it, it's going to be very hard to manifest because you've got to act as if it's already happened. Because remember, in manifesting, you are attracting to you what you're resonating at, whatever your frequency is. So if you're in a state of abundance, you're attracting abundance. If you're in a state of disbelief, fear, doubt, uncertainty, that's what you're attracting, things to confirm your uncertainty and your disbelief. And so in order to start manifesting things that are stretched beyond where you currently are, you've got to be able to imagine the stretch and start to feel it in your being. And so there are some strategies that are really powerful to do this and pretty easy. So I'm going to give you 3 of them. So these are the 3 real life examples of manifesting from a stretched imagination. So number 1, here's my real life example number 1. When I graduated with my PhD, I decided that a gift to myself was going to be to go to a Brendon Burchard conference. And this was fun because I don't even remember how I ran into him online. And I just thought, what a cool guy. I want to go to this event. I got to learn more. And it was a marketing conference. And I knew that I needed to learn everything I could about marketing in order to grow my business because I didn't know anything about marketing. And I thought, if I'm going to be successful in building a business, I got to go to this event. And so I went, and at this event, it planted the seed that it is 100% possible for me to build a 6-figure business because I was hanging out with a whole bunch of people that were doing it. Countless people had 6-figure businesses, 7-figure businesses, and 8-figure businesses. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And it really caused me to believe with 100% certainty that it was possible for me. I was like, well, if they can do it, there's no reason I can't do it. And so this was exciting. And that event changed my life from that perspective alone. It planted the seed for me to know because it stretched my imagination and helped me manifest it. And when I got home from that conference, I decided I'm going 6 figures in my first year of business, which was a little crazy because I was on food stamps and I didn't know shit about business. Yet I saw that it was possible and I thought, come on, I'm smart. I'm a go-getter. I could do this. And I did. I made it to 6 figures in my first year of business. And, I put in a lot of energy and effort and hard work. And I do it much more easily now because I have more years of experience and manifestation strategies. But I want you to know that you need to be putting yourself in situations where you can stretch your imagination by hanging out with people who are ahead of you in the game so that you can see that it's possible to expand. If you keep hanging out with the same people and no one's growing in the groups that you're hanging out with, it's not likely you're going to grow. And so you want to be hanging out with people who are steps ahead of you, who can show you the way, who can model abundance thinking, who've been there and done it, to where it's like no big deal to them. They're just like, what, a 6-figure business? Who cares? Like, well, not who cares, but oh, that's easy. They're on their way to 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, whatever the number is for them. So that's one real life example. So I put myself in a situation where I stretched my imagination and saw that it was possible to build a 6-figure business. Number 2, RIM session with my friend who helped me feel the feeling of real love and an awesome relationship. So RIM is actually called Reimagining Images in Memory. And this is my dear friend who's a love coach. And I was seeing her to help me attract my now husband, Abe, who is the love of my life. And, if you've been following me and listened to my history of relationships, you know that I left my 15-year marriage having an affair. My next relationship was a turmoil roller coaster ride for several years. And then he ended up having an affair and I ended it. And so I was a wreck in relationships. I didn't know how to state my needs or set boundaries or choose partners that were healthy. We always had this kind of toxic entanglement. And, my ex-husband and I have 15 years, had 3 kids together. Love, love, love my kids. And I've done a ton of repair work since then, and obviously changed from within. And I still didn't know how to feel the feeling of like, what would it be like to be in a relationship that's really healthily attached and feels amazing? And so in Reimagining Images in Memory, you actually break into your imagination and use it to tap into your subconscious mind. And it was amazing. So I had this one really powerful session with her, and I got to hang out with my partner on the beach who I was imagining. I swam out of the water and he was there and we had a drink and then we're holding hands on the beach walking, and he held me in this imagination that I was doing, and he held me. And I remember so vividly just the feeling of safety and closeness and calm and love. And I was crying in this meditation. I was like, oh my God, that I will know that I've found my person when I feel like that with them. And so I stretched my imagination to step into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And then when I met him and he hugged me, oh my God, it's going to make me cry right now. He hugged me and I felt that exact feeling. And I was like, oh my God, it was incredible. And I just knew, I was like, he is my person. And he is, and I love him so much, and I'm so blissed out in my relationship. And that was how I manifested. It was feeling and then matching the vibrational frequency and then attracting it to me. And now we create that every single day. Every time we hug, it's this feeling of closeness and safety and comfort and awesomeness. And so, so good. Crying here on the podcast. So in this way, find someone who can help you tap into your subconscious. This is an incredibly powerful tool. You can do this in visualization-based meditation. And there is a RIM book. I'll have to look for the title and put it in the show notes, because there's a RIM book by the founder and who created RIM. And I could also, if you want, DM me and I can connect you with my friend who does incredible work in the world. Otherwise, you can also do visualization-based meditation. And this helps you reprogram your mindset, tap into your subconscious, and remove your preconceived ideas. I really think that's what meditation does. It helps you tap into collective consciousness and attract things because you're raising your vibe. And so meditation can be a really powerful tool, especially visualization-based meditation, which is really what a RIM session is like. So play with that. And then tip number 3, or real life example number 3 to manifest from a stretched imagination is when all of 2022, practice getting better and better at imagining myself as the CEO of my company. So started to really change my mindset from I'm building a quote unquote business. And also I would say I was somewhat scattered, not entirely, because I've been getting better and better at getting laser focused, but I really started to make decisions from a place of clarity, certainty, and focus about scaling NFA money to 7 figures. And to do that in 2022, I had to cut off things that weren't aligned. I chose I cut off many things that weren't aligned, big money makers in my business that I felt like this isn't going to scale my brand to the next level. And it's sucking my energy in certain ways that isn't effective. And so I, in a scary way, took the leap and cut things off, and then my revenue went down. And at the same time, I thought this is what a powerful CEO does. They decide about the future vision, they step into the future vision as if it's already fulfilled, and they take the leap and they go for it. And what this led to has been so freaking cool. And this is, I don't know if I'll announce this before this episode is released, so it might be the first time anyone's hearing it, but my beautiful, gorgeous, brilliant husband has left his sweet C-suite job to come work full-time with NFA. Oh my God. So, he's the VP of Ops for a really big, rapidly growing franchise. And we are having so much fun working together. He helped me format the book, I Am a Money Magnet. And we had so much fun working together. And we just started talking about what's the possibility if we worked together and scaled NFA money to 7 figures. And we've just felt 100% yes. We kept talking about it and playing with the idea. And we got more and more excited. And so we were imagining the possibility of that. And then we just said, let's go for it. So that's what happens when you stretch your imagination. You then attract to you in a manifestation-based way that which you are creating in your mind first. And so what I want you to do, I'm going to recap through action steps. So your action steps for this week from this episode is to stretch your imagination and manifest money more easily. Try these 3 strategies. Number 1, hang out with entrepreneurs who are ahead of you in the money-making game. Number 2, do a session with a guide who can help you tap into your subconscious imagination. And number 3, use scripting to write your future. And when I say scripting, that's what Abe, my honey, and I did when we were talking and playing with the idea of working together. We started scripting. So you imagine your future as if it's already happened and write it in your journal. Like I always start with the statement, I am so happy and grateful now that blank. And then you write it as if it's been fulfilled. And then the other thing we did is we did daily AffirMantras together every morning. We love to co-create 50K months as a magnetic team, doing what we love from our zones of genius. And we just wrote that. And then we wrote all these statements. And I teach AffirMantras in my book. So get this book, I'm a Money Magnet book.com, I'm a Money Magnet book.com, and that'll help you script your future. So try those 3 things. DM me and let me know how you liked this episode. It's easy on Instagram. Just go to @NFAMoney, @NFAMoney, and DM me and let me know how it's going. Share this with friends and people that you think would benefit. I'm growing our community huge. I am dedicated to attracting incredible women like you to the podcast, to NFA Money Mamas, so we can expand our potential and make a powerful difference in the world, doing what we love, scaling businesses, and being financially free as powerhouse badass women. Yes. All right. Until next time, I'm giving you big hugs and NFA money making high fives. Mwah. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to break through to the next income level in your business, go to www.thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com to get more money mindset, manifestation, and business scaling resources. Again, that's www.thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.